Almost ready. Okay, and we are live. Hello, hello, and welcome. We are so excited to have you here today. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that I live and work on, the people of Mamu country in North Queensland. And I would also like to pay my respects and acknowledge traditional owners and elders, past and present, right across Australia and the Torres Strait. Well, it's my great pleasure to introduce our next guest. But before I introduce her, I would like to remind everybody that nominations are currently open for the AusMumpreneur Awards. So if you have somebody who inspires you, amazes you, somebody who is doing an incredible job at running their business while raising children, please nominate them for the AusMumpreneur Awards. It's really important that we support other women and that we acknowledge and recognize the work that women are doing, because so often women hide behind the scenes. They wait to be recognized. They wait to put themselves forward. They want to be humble. They're shy about promoting themselves. And so it is really important that we recognize ourselves. So we nominate ourselves because that's really important for promoting our business, but also that we recognize other women and nominate other women for the awards as well. So I did want to remind everybody about that. Nominations are open till the 10th of July. And we've also got our nominate to win promotion going, which is my absolute favorite thing. Women have the opportunity to nominate 10 other amazing women that they know. And then you go into the draw to join us in Sydney as a VIP. You get a ticket to the VIP experience as part of the conference, which is the 3-day pass. And then you also get $1,000 towards your flights and accommodation. So it's a pretty great competition prize to win. So that's open till the 10th of July as well. I also wanted to remind you of the dates for the conference. It's happening on the 14th to the 16th of September in Sydney. So it's going to be pretty amazing. All of the details are at ausmumpreneur.com. Okay, well, I'm so excited to now introduce our special guest, Christine Wan, and she is from an organization called Speakworthy, which is all about amplifying women's voices, which is something I'm super passionate about as well. And yeah, we're very delighted to have her joining us. So please come and say hi, Christine. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Peace, and of course, Katie, wherever you are, because both of you are such amazing inspiration for us women doing our thing. And I think you took some of the words out of my mouth because, you know, at the end of the day, we do need to be visible. We really need to showcase what we know and what we do. So for everybody here, thank you for joining. I'm going to share my screen so you can see some of the slides. And today, I just want to take this opportunity to have a conversation and really just share what Brenda and I have experienced. What does visibility look like for us? And hopefully this will resonate and really inspire everybody in the room to think about how they can be more visible in their lane and what that looks like, because it is very, very powerful to be seen and to be heard. And you know what? In 2026, this is the time. In fact, it was a time long time ago. So today, my objective is really to share with you what Brenda and I have experienced. So let's get started. So if you sort of think about where you are today, I want to leave you with this quote that I have on the screen, and it says, "The world can't celebrate what it can't see. The world can't celebrate what it can't see." And I think what Peace was talking about just now is, you know, putting yourself out there is really important, because everybody has a message and everybody's story and message will land with somebody out there. There's 8 billion people out there, and everyone wants to hear what we have to say. And as women, I think it's so powerful that we do that. So here is a picture of me and my business partner, Brenda. Brenda sends her apologies because she's actually presenting on stage today and tomorrow. So this is her visibility. The world will see her, the world will hear her message. So today you will have me, and this is the agenda that we have prepared for you. So a little bit of introduction about who we are, and addressing some of the really important issues that I think have been a real challenge for women. Why don't we want to be seen? Like, I think sometimes we have to take pause and ask ourselves, why don't we want to be seen? And when we are, there is payback. There is payback of visibility, that there is a reward. There's like that gold pot at the end of the rainbow. So when we are seen and heard, what does that look like? And of course, Brenda and I go through our ecosystem with both our corporate clients and our private clients, and it is our 3 Ps of visibility, which we will share with you through this presentation. And time permitting, if you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. Hopefully, this will be an inspiration for you to step up and step out and be more visible in what you do. So, what do Brenda and I stand for? Our mission, if you look at some of our website and things that we do, it's really to amplify underrepresented voices. And that is through the ability to communicate well and foster trust in organizations, to your clients. If you are a speaker or a coach or a leader, or in your own organization, this is about amplifying your voice. And if you feel like you are not seen, unseen, and unheard, well, embrace the fact that these voices of yours need to be heard. And what does that look like? Peace and Katie provide us with so much to think that this is a platform that we have, that we can step up and talk about our expertise. So for Brenda and I, what did that look like in 2026? And I'll let you know now, we enter every year because we want to be seen. We want people to know the good work that we do, and we want to share that good work around. So 2026, Brenda and I entered migrant leadership because that is where our space is, in our passion, and we came 3rd. So what does that mean? It means that we were seen. It means that our voice landed somewhere and people resonated with that. And especially women of colour, that really landed with, the people who needed to hear what we had to say. So before I go on to our next slide, and I don't know if I can see the chat because I'm doing a presentation, and maybe Peace can help me out. The next agenda item is why women don't want to be seen. So put in the chat, why do you think we at times are afraid to be seen, or we don't want to be seen? So Peace, if you can help me.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so let's see, is there any things in the chat that people have put in there? Why do you think women don't want to be seen?
I've got the ball rolling because I think society tells us to be humble.
Yes, society tells us to be humble. Yep, because it's a construct, isn't it? Society has simply put us in a box. Yes, society tells us to be humble. Anything else? Why do you think we don't want to be seen? Anything else?
Okay, Angie Crawford says traditionally women are the homemakers, not the leaders.
Oh, yes, because again, that's another society construct, right? That tells us, you're better at home. You're the one who needs to rear children and be in the kitchen. Well, I'll let you know now, I retired my husband ages ago. He was working a corporate job, and I thought to myself, yeah, this is something that I could probably do, more of. And he was like happy playing with the kids, does not make him any less, but it is a construct that we have challenged. I can see the comments now. So Lee says, I think sometimes it's about people not feeling like they're good enough to be seen in the same room as some others. Oh, that is such a great point, and such, we feel, is a deal breaker that should not be. So thank you for that. I'm going to show you what we've come up with, which is, and tell me, drop in the chat if you feel that this resonates. We don't want to be seen because we're always fearful of judgment. And I think that sort of resonates with what Peace was saying, that we need to always be humble. Okay, we're told, okay, you've got to stay humble, stay quiet. Second guessing. So we tend to second guess ourselves. And I think this sort of resonates with what Lee's saying that we're just not good enough. Oh, I don't think anybody wants to hear us say what we have to say. So we're constantly second guessing ourselves. And about the imposter syndrome as well. I don't think I'm allowed to be in this room, right? I don't think I'm qualified to be in this room. So these are some of the narratives that keep running through our heads, and we're like, oh, I don't think it's worth us being seen. And of course, it's the comfort zone, because we feel it's easier to stay small, that we can stay in this small place, you know, maybe in the kitchen, maybe at home, you know, fulfilling our traditional roles. But what does that mean for us? That we might have amazing messages that nobody's going to hear. So if we can shift that mindset and think of all of the opposites to the reason why we don't want to be seen, well, we don't need to fear judgment. We don't need to second guess. We know what we're talking about. We need to do away with the imposter syndrome. We need to do away with the convenience of staying small and in our comfort zone. These are really good steps to take, okay, towards being visible. So again, before I go to my next slide, what do you think if we were to exercise all of these opposites? Okay, we're not fearing judgment, we're not second guessing ourselves, we're doing away with imposter syndrome. What do you think are the paybacks? What do you think are the rewards of being visible? So feel free to put that in the chat. Angie says, regardless of what you do or don't do, you'll always be judged by someone. So be judged while doing something for you, for your business, and for your family. I love that, Angie. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. There's going to be haters out there. You cannot control everybody. I love this. Yes, I love this very much so. So Lee says, what's the payback? What's the reward that we reap if we are not fearful of any of these things? Opportunity, 100%. Anything else? If we weren't second guessing ourselves, that we're doing away with imposter, staying small, and all of that's done away with, what do you think could be some of the rewards towards us being visible? Opportunity, anything else? I'll give you the answer. So some of the things, if we're doing away with all of those hurdles, here is the payback of visibility. Look at the proof that you could provide for your rooms, okay? When you prove yourself, and I'll show you some pictures later of our proof, both Brenda and I, proof gives other people a reason to trust us. So if you are an expert in your space, show them proof. So proof is, it could be in a room that you have delivered a speech. If you have won awards, this is proof. It gives them credibility. So have a think about the credibility that you have today with your proof. That can compound, because people start associating you with solving that problem. If you are a thought leader in this room, and I'm working towards thought leadership because I want to talk about a topic that I'm very passionate about, which is communication. And so I need to be visible out there, both Brenda and I, about communication. We need to be visible out there and telling people, look, we have proof, we are credible in this space because we have worked with a cross-section of industries, a cross-section of subject matter experts, and they have come back with fantastic results. So these are the credibility and the proof that we provide for our visibility. So have a think about your own and your own space. Momentum. Because proof credibility, what does that do? People start associating with you on what you do best. So when you're putting yourself out there consistently, when you're at platforms like what Peace and Katie provide, people are going to start recognizing, oh, wow, these ladies are consistent in their message. These ladies are, you know, they have the momentum of pushing their message out there. And that's what I was saying before. We enter the awards every year, and we may not come first, second, or even third, you know, at times, but we make sure that we are building that momentum on platforms like what Peace and Katie are providing us. Momentum provides influence. So think about your area of expertise. When you have that momentum, the consistency, people are seeing the proof and the credibility, what does that mean for you? It means that you become an influential voice. It means that people are going to start tapping you on the shoulder, inviting you to forums, inviting you to panels, inviting you to key rooms so that you can deliver your key message. And of course, I put confidence last because people keep thinking that they need to have the confidence first to get the proof, the credibility, the momentum, the influence. Confidence is what happens when all of this action taking is done. So maybe after today's session here, think about what you can do to provide just one thing. You can provide one of each. So what sort of proof, what sort of credibility, what sort of momentum, and what sort of influence you want. Or you can just pick one thing. Okay, what can I do to prove that I am the person to go to, the woman to go to, the expert to go to? So have a think about that, and we can discuss it at the end of the session, because all of that will culminate in confidence. So don't think that confidence needs to come first before you do all that, because each day is just one small action item, action task that can really move the needle forward. Any questions so far? Please just put in the chat. I'm happy to answer them now, or we can leave it to the end. So I'll keep looking at the chat because I now know I can see my chat box now. So what sort of visibility has Brenda and I been part of? So 2026 Women Changing the World, we were in the Global Awards, we were finalists in Cultural Diversity and Inclusion, and you can see that we got a Migrant Leadership Award. So every year we are consistently putting ourselves out there. Lee said, since applying for awards has made me confident because it not only gives me a chance to look back at everything I've done. I love that. Exactly. So I am always at the forefront of, you know, how can I be seen? How can I be heard? And thank you for that contribution, Lee. So there I am. There's Brenda and I. We took out like gold and silver in 1 year. So that was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. This year, 2026, we became finalists, as you can see. I even contributed to Dreams and Determination. So you can read my chapter in that book. Guess what? It's my migrant story, and it sort of reinforces why I'm so passionate about, you know, amplifying underrepresented voices, because I'm a migrant to this country. And so when you read about my journey, people are like, oh, I get it. This is her proof. This is her credibility in her lived experience as to why she needs to get this message out there. So here I am on the panel when we were doing a panel talk on Dreams and Determination in Geelong with AusMums. It was such a fantastic experience because I was there with all of these amazing speakers sharing their story, and you know, people go, oh, right, I now know who Christine Wan is. And there's Brenda. She's a co-author of her book, Women in Construction, Secrets in the Construction Industry, because Brenda is an engineer. So these credibility points, these subject matter expertise is where her and I will anchor into and become influencers in our own right. So where have you seen me, or where can you see me? So just to give you some idea about visibility and why it's so important. So this only happened in the last couple of years. So my first panel, going from left to right, is me at my book launch. And I wrote a book. It was poetry anthology, because I'm a migrant to this country. I was a refugee, in fact. And last year commemorated 50 years since the Vietnam War. So I thought, I'm going to get my book that's been sitting on my shelf for so long, because I was feeling small. It was safe to feel comfortable and small. And I didn't want anybody to read my book. And I thought, well, why? I need to get it out there so other people with my experience, be it from the Vietnam War or any war for that fact, anyone who felt displaced as a new person in a new country could appreciate it. So I had over 140 attendees to my book launch, okay? And there was no publicity. Can you believe that? So that is because there's a culmination of things that I'd done in the past to put myself out there. So people knew that I could write. People knew that I spoke a lot about the migrant experience and underrepresented voices. People knew I was, in education. So suddenly people wanted to hear what my book was about. The second panel is me in Geelong on a panel talking about my story. The third panel is me at receiving a leadership award with Aaron Finch. And that was an amazing opportunity, because somebody recognized me as a community leader, leading the way for women, leading the way for underrepresented voices, leading the way for migrants. And it was all about me putting in the work to make myself visible. On the top panel is me at Melbourne Convention Centre presenting to 400 people. And on the bottom is me presenting at New South Wales Government with Brenda. So these things are really about me putting the proof out there, saying, oh, okay, so I know what I'm talking about. People want to hear it, and my story and my expertise matters. Enough about me, because Brenda, look at Brenda. She's an amazing speaker. If anybody has had the chance to hear Brenda speak. So in the first panel, here she is actually in delivering her keynote at Women in Collision. And she had an article written about her after this particular event, because people were just blown away by her keynote. Down the bottom is a facilitated workshop that she did for women in high, because her background is in engineering, specifically mining and manufacturing. So that is her area of expertise. I don't speak at any of those events because that's not my area of expertise. But her visibility tells us that these are her areas of influence. These are her areas where she can have proof and credibility. And then up the top is Brenda delivering to, look at the crowd behind her. And that was her keynote at an International Women's Day event. Women in construction, and of course down the bottom, so at the top is her delivering at Goldman Sachs, and down the bottom she's part of a panel at iSTEMco, uplifting women of colour and women in engineering. So feel free to ask any questions or make comments in the chat. But these are ways how Brenda and I both ensure that our visibility is powerful, and that we are documenting at each step of the way. Thank you, Peace. That we are documenting at every step of the way that we are credible in our voice. We are credible in things that we do. So what does that mean for you? Because it's enough about us. What does it mean for you? And this is the key takeaways that I want for everybody in the room today. So Brenda and I really have a philosophy about the 3 Ps. It's very simple, and it's a little checkpoint for us, for our clients, to think about when we want to ensure our visibility is right out there, it's seen, it's heard for ourselves. So the first P is positioning. So I really want you to reflect on your own positioning and think about what's the problem that you solve for other people, because that is a really clear position of your influence, your credibility, and your expertise for others. That people will tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I've got a problem, and I know to go to Lee about that. I know to go to Angie about that. And I know to go to Peace about that. So think about the specific problem that you solve, and that will make your position really clear. Lead with outcomes and impact. So a lot of people have a lovely position statement. I was actually in a seminar yesterday, and people were offering their positioning statements, and it went for like 3 or 4 or 5 lines. And, you know, a lot of that gets lost. I was at a networking event on Saturday, again, being seen and heard, and somebody said, oh, Speakworthy, what do you do? And I said, well, I teach people how to speak. And they're like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. That makes sense. So the outcome and the impact is people fear public speaking, people fear speaking up in an organization, privately, having conversations, speaking to the coffee shop man at times. Some people have that fear. So my positioning was, well, the problem is some people fear speaking, so I teach them about speaking, no matter where you are. Oh, that makes sense. So that leads with outcomes and impact, because if people work with me from an organization or privately, guess what? They will have an outcome and they will be impactful in the way they speak. And the last thing with positioning is, and sometimes people forget this, you are unique. You are your own USP. So embrace your difference. Angie says, I have given my Uber driver a business card because he was curious. Yes, that is exactly it. And I love that word curiosity, because people are curious about you. When people are curious about you, you would have nailed your positioning. Okay, so if people pick up and go, oh, what do you do? Yes, I want that business card. I love that, Angie. Thank you for sharing. So positioning. Have a think about your own positioning. Is it clear? Is that problem solved clearly? Does it have an outcome, and is it impactful for the person who has the problem? And are you that most unique person to deliver that solution to your client? So if you can answer those 3 for yourselves, then you've got a good positioning statement happening. The second P is packaging. So what is your package? So positioning is about you to others. And I see packaging is how others see us. So how do others see us? And what do you need to put together, curate, to ensure that you have the proof, the credibility, the influence, and that you're not just staying small and tucked away in a kitchen somewhere? Not that there's anything wrong with the kitchen. I love baking and I love cooking. So, you know, but it's definitely not something that defines me. So if you think about packaging, how are you making your expertise easy to trust? So if you are on a stage presenting, if you are in a room, or if you're speaking to, you know, your mentees or coachees, if you know, if that is your space, or if you're speaking to students, you know, at a university, let's say, is that your expertise? Is that how you want other people to see you? And Angie might say, well, what did you say, you know, to the Uber driver to pique his interest, his or her interest, to ask you for a business card? So what are you exuding that people are saying, oh, yes, that's the person I want to speak to? Your packaging also includes sharing your success stories, your metrics, your wins. And I've put here repeatedly, okay? Because you don't want to be forgettable. You want to be visible, okay? Not forgettable. So have a think about where your packaging lies. Is it in social media? Is it, you know, text messages and conversations? Is it, you know, on a stage where you are sharing to live audience your stories, your successes, your wins? How are you outwardly being perceived? How are people seeing you, the package that you are presenting? And of course, this is the reason why we're here. This is the reason why Peace and Katie support us, because they give us a platform. Awards. There's so many categories that you can enter, because we are multifaceted. We're women. We're multifaceted in so many ways. So have a think about awards. How do I actually enter, and how do I actually tell my story so that people recognize me for this award? The people recognize me for a win that I've had. And, you know, this is such a great, inclusive and safe platform for all of us, even those who have imposter syndrome. Now, it's such a nice, very small step to take to put ourselves out there. Brenda and I actually have a lot of private clients, and we actually nominated all of them this year. I think 80% of them walked away with a win. And if it wasn't an honorable mention, it was a gold and silver, because we knew that they were doing such amazing things and nobody's heard of them. So as Peace was saying before, thank you, Peace. Yes, as Peace was saying before, if you recognize someone who is just top notch, but nobody knows about them, nominate them. Okay, because, you know, this is a great platform and safe platform for us to support all of our women counterparts. And our third P in our little ecosystem is pitching. So now that we know our positioning, now we know how other people are seeing us, what does that mean? We've got to pitch our ideas. We need to pitch our business. We need to pitch, you know, how we're going to solve this problem to others. So I suggest talking about your business to anyone and everyone. And like Angie was saying, the Uber driver, okay, anyone and everyone who's interested in hearing about you, talk to them about your business, and make that positioning statement so catchy and so easy to remember that you will be visible to everybody, okay? When you pitch, you're opening doors to partnerships and collaborations. So who knows who you might be speaking to, who might say to you, oh my gosh, Uber driver says, oh my gosh, Angie, thank you for giving me a business card, because I know someone who knows someone, and I'm going to give your contact to that person. Okay, so speaking about your business constantly, and not making a judgment also on who you should speak to or not speak to. So make that positioning statement so strong that you can package it and pitch it. And reference your nomination on socials, websites, and speaking bios, okay? Because, and that's what we do every time we have a win or a loss or something neutral, you know, give yourself that reminder and give others a reminder that you were in it to win it, that you contributed. You contributed to applying for an award, you contributed to a networking event, you contributed to a free speaking gig or a paid speaking gig, you know, for we know you contributed somehow. Tell people what you do and tell them consistently. So pitching is a really important part of the 3P system. So 3 Ps, have a great position for yourself and the problem you solve. Number 2, how do you want others to see you? So package that well and curate your narrative so that you can consistently be out there and people can see you. And number 3, pitch it well. Pitching is having that conversation, you know, calling the prospective client, going to network events, having dialogue with anybody who will hear you, you know, about your business, because the more practice you have, the better you get at it. Power of visibility. So I just wanted to wrap up so that we can go to Q&A. And the reason why visibility is so important. I want to make a point about awards because this is what Peace and Katie can do for us, right? To provide us with avenues, to provide us with opportunities for award and recognition. So awards are credibility shortcuts. Let's get real. You win an award, people suddenly go, oh, this is what she's known for. This is her area of expertise. This is what she speaks about. This is amazing. Okay. So true. Yes, Angie, so true. Stages create status. So this comes into the credibility piece. So a lot of speakers say, oh, but I'm not going to do this, speaking gig if I'm not getting paid for it. Yes, people have said that, or this is not good enough. Or are they going to, we had someone say to us the other day, well, they're going to pay for accommodation, because if they're not, I'm not going. Right? So eliminate those thoughts, go for everything. Any stage you're at, bring a photographer, get someone that you know from the stage from the audience to take your photos and a quick video, because this is your credibility. This is your proof that you were in that room, that you were doing the work, that you did, you did the hard work. So stages create status. And don't forget, a stage can also be virtual. So if you are in a room like this, or you are facilitating a workshop that's virtual, take a photo. That's your status and your credibility. Event organizers want speakers with proof of leadership and impact. So going back to your positioning, what is the problem you solve? Is it easy and memorable enough for event organizers to say, oh my gosh, Angie speaks about that. Oh my goodness, Lee speaks about that. P speaks about that. Christine speaks about that. Brenda speaks about that. Okay, so that they go to you and go, yep, that person's going to solve my problem, and it's going to be impactful and memorable, okay, to my clients. Next, media wants stories with credibility markers. So a credibility marker is why we're here: awards, stages, okay, proof. They can see your socials. Oh, wow, this, LinkedIn is a great place to be if that's where your clients hang out, right? So LinkedIn, right thought leadership, things that actually make you the credible person. Okay, so media wants these stories, and clients want partners with recognized authority. So have a think about why you are doing what you're doing, because you clearly all have a passion about your topic, right? So whatever that topic is, how are you going to really put yourself out there? Is your position clear? Is your, how people are seeing, is your package that you have curated clear to others? And can you pitch it easily? So as I was saying before, at any networking event I go to, people say, oh, Christine, Speakworthy, what do you do? Teach people how to speak. Oh, tell me more. Okay, tell me more. So I will leave you with that. If you'd like to connect with us, even if it's for a chat, even if it's to pick our brain, even if it's to, spitball to say, oh, am I on the right track? Is this what I'm doing? Is my 3 Ps working? Please connect with us for a chat. Nothing is an obligation. We love networking. We love meeting new people, because who knows, that conversation could lead to many other things. This is your pitch. This is your opportunity for a pitch. So please connect with us. This is our website. Scan the QR code or take a photo. And I'm going to take it to the floor if anybody has any questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, if that's okay, so people can see my face.
Thank you so much, Christine. That was so good.
You're most
Very
welcome.
good. And you talked a lot about the importance of speaking on stage and how
Yes.
it can really help you share your message and amplify your voice and build your credibility, and build new relationships. And I did want to mention that we have applications open at the moment for speakers for our AusMumpreneur conference on the 16th of September. So I'm going to put the link in the chat there, for
I'm
anybody
going to
who's
apply for that.
interested.
See, this is an opportunity, and I encourage everybody to take these opportunities that Peace and Katie are so proactive in providing for us. Thank you. I've just clicked on the link. So
Amazing.
get
And I
onto the hot
think,
link.
yeah, I think for people who are developing their confidence, the AusMum audience is really beautiful for that, because it's such a warm and supportive environment. And anyone who's been along to AusMum knows
Yes.
what I mean. But even if you haven't, yeah, it's just very welcoming. they want to see you, they want to see you win. And so yeah, it's a great opportunity to speak on stage and know that it's a good audience who are going to cheer for you at the end of your talk. So
That's
yeah,
right. That's right. I just wanted to say hello to Tej because we're seeing Tej this week. Tej was one of
amazing.
my the people that I nominated,
Oh,
right?
beautiful.
And if anybody wants to read about what Tej and if anybody wants to read about Tej's story, oh my gosh, she is going to change the world. So just going to put it out there. She's an amazing change maker. Okay. Angie says, how do we make the most of opportunities? Pitch to media or promote our wins to help build credibility? So, Angie, do you want to tell me a little bit about, I'm going to assume that you've got something to do with property?
Yeah, sorry, I'll come off mute. My
Yes.
voice is a bit croaky because I'm sick. Um, I'm a buyer's agent, and so a lot of
Yes.
people don't know what that is. And so I say, well, I'm a real estate agent that doesn't sell real estate. I buy it for people. And they go, tell me more. So
Yeah.
Uber driver one came around. But yeah, so like I went to AusMums for the first time last year. Thank you, Peace. It was amazing. I came third in like customer service. But I didn't I don't think I really took that opportunity. Like I had like the badge at the bottom of my email, and I think I had it on my website, but like that was it. There was no, and it was my first year in business. So I didn't know how to like reach out and take those opportunities and say, hey, look at me. I'm freaking awesome. And look what I did in my first year of business. So I'm just like really interested to learn like how to take that next step because I'm all for doing it and supporting women. I love that. And that's
Yes.
what I'm here for. But then how do we like back ourselves and push that out to the wider world if they're not on my website or my email list to say, look what I did, look what I've done.
Yeah, that's such a great question. I want to home in on the P for packaging. So what people actually forget, because the world is so noisy, and you can see that every time you go on socials, someone is trying to sell someone something. Like we're always trying to sell people things. And what I've realized is that, we as people, we're attracted to stories. Okay, we're attracted to stories. They want to know the real Angie behind the Oasis buyer's agent. Who are you? How did you get there? Did you have a moment in life where you thought, oh my gosh, this is how I'm going to help people? This is how I'm going to help people who are, I don't know, overseas and they need someone to be on their side to do all the numbers and to make sure that they're not overpaying for a property, okay, or getting the best price. Okay, I don't pretend to know what buyer's agents do, but I know that people have used them because of whatever circumstance. But before you sell them something, what is the trust narrative that you want others to see you as before they even go on your website, right? So the short answer is really work on your stories, really work on your why. And so your question is about how do we make the most of opportunities, pitch to media or promote our wins to help. You can pitch to media because then, and even media, if you go to, and this is a story for another day, you can go to all the newspapers, you can do all that, but they're going to ask you, are you selling something or have you got a great story as to why it's culminated into you becoming a buyer's agent? Because trust me, you're not the only buyer's agent out there, but what is your USP? And your USP is you. That's your story and how you got to where you are today and why you are doing what you're doing. So you have to go deep into these stories. I don't know what your background is, as far as stories are concerned. Was it a moment in life where you thought, far out, I'm sick and tired of these agents who are X, Y, Z. I want to do something different. Or I had lived experience where this is what I experienced and it was not good. And the reason why I'm here is because I want to relay that message to everybody. Okay. You've got to get deep into the personals before someone's going to say, oh, Angie's the buyer's agent that I want versus Joe Blogs over there. Right. So you've got to go across the board to everywhere. Awards is a great way to do it. And I totally appreciate what you said about, I probably didn't put enough time. Peace and Katie have that application process. And if anything, spend the time thinking about their questions. I know it's long, but usually when I'm there doing my application, I will put aside, this is insane, like 2 hours just to think things through and say, well, what is the narrative that I want others to know about me? Okay. And I'll go through my 3 Ps. What is the problem I solve? My position. What is the narrative that I want other people to see me? My package. And then when I'm answering the questions, what is the pitch, right? What am I telling people that I do best? So I hope that sort of answers the question in a roundabout way. Yeah, thank you. Any other questions? Feel free to throw them in the chat, put your hand up.
Does anyone else want to just jump in and say hi?
Yeah. Lee, what do you do?
Hi.
Yes, Lee. Come on in, Lee.
Hi. Christine, I never got to meet you. I'm in part of the Dreams and Determination book as well. So, but I was flat Lily at the event last year because my cardboard cutout was there because I was I think my baby was 3 weeks old or 4 weeks old or something, and I just couldn't quite handle it.
I believe I saw that. That was amazing. I thought, now that's someone who's determined. She belongs in this book.
I want to be seen even if I'm not there.
Correct. Perfect. It was so beautiful. Love it. Love it.
No, but I'm yeah, so I'm really excited to be, because I'm doing like a legacy this year, and part of it is speaking. So we will be doing a little small section, I think, at AusMumpreneurs, which I'm excited about. And yeah, but I really want to get good at speaking this year because I'm not, I'm an open book. I just like blah, 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 like it comes out. I think sleep deprivedness. I also that's not even a word. But being sleep deprived, my brain freezes. Like I lose track. So yeah. So it's going to be good this year. Just sort of building that up. So I'm excited. And funny enough, I knew I recognised you when you came on, and then when you said the Dream is Determination book, I was like, I'm pretty sure I've read your chapter.
Yes.
I'm going to have to go back now and I read more about you again.
Yes.
But yes.
I love your energy, Lee. I think
thank you.
so amazing. And this is what I'm saying. Like, this is such a safe space for us to just say it's okay that our words don't make sense. We're sleep deprived. I totally get it. I've got 4 kids and it's like a circus at my house. You know, so me trying to put 2 hours is just, I think it's an hour and 59 minutes too much.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way, because the kids are clawing at you all the time, wanting your attention, and you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
So it is what it is. Caitlin, so thank you so much for sharing that. I'm going to go back and read your chapter too.
Yes.
And these are great ways that, you know, Pete and Katie are actually allowing us to be part of, right? So take the opportunity. Yep, there it is.
There's the book. Dreams and Determination.
Yeah, you know, the purple and pink suit me quite well.
Yeah, I love the purple.
So thank you for sharing. I just saw a note here. It says, Caitlin says, loving this session. I'm Caitlin. This is my first year for this. I'm looking at the application. I work with businesses with lending strategies for growth. Yes. And now we're going to go, oh, anyone know Caitlin Turner? Yes. She works with businesses on lending strategies for growth. Gosh, I'm in business. I always need people to throw money at me so I can grow my business. So now I know, if I need that sort of advice, I'll go to Caitlin. If I need a buyer's agent, I'm going to go and speak to Angie, you know, or if somebody asks me, you know, do you know a buyer's agent? Because I'm overseas and I need someone with expert knowledge on this location. Trust me, I'll know who to go to, because this is the sisterhood that we can be visible safely without judgment. And look, there's going to be haters out there all the time, you know, and in a speaking world, you and I know that you are, you know, if you don't know the stats, it's 33% of people who are not going to resonate with you, 33% who are going to be haters, and 33% who are absolutely going to fangirl and fanboy you. Okay, so you just need to work on that 33.33%.
I think the stats are different for the AusMum community, though.
I
don't think we've got
so.
33% of haters in the room.
Exactly.
There's a lot of love in there.
And there is a lot of love. So, anything above that is a super, super bonus, isn't it?
There's a question from Tej. Do you want to come and say hi?
Come on, Tej. No, Tej always overshoots mark. How to prioritize multiple missions you have, Tej. Come on, Tej, if you're available.
Hello. Hi. So good to see you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow.
I know. We're going to see Brenda on the stage tomorrow. Both Tej and I are going to be supporting her, cheering her on, doing a little pom-pom dance on the side.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Tej, how can I help you? You said how to prioritize multiple missions that you have. I know you have multiple missions. Do you want to share with the room what your missions are?
So the first one is definitely about the care stress. The second one is about building a GIA community, a community where the society slowly understands how to be with people who have dementia. Yeah. So you don't lock them up in a room, because if we do that, it's going to be tragic. It's going to be tragic. We need to learn to live with them. That's the second thing. The third thing that I've got is the migrants who are actually working as the carers.
Yes.
No one looks at their stress, what they're dealing with. And the impact of that is the fact that they can't speak up because they're afraid of losing their jobs.
Yes.
The next one after that is that I want to build a connection between the elderly and the youngsters in the primary school or high school. Yeah. If we don't work on it now, you are looking at a generation, the coming generations, who don't know how to interact with the elderly. The isolation, the technology, that's just isolating people.
Yes.
Like, this is just a few to mention. And then I've got the ones where the women in the migrant communities who have lost their purpose and who've lost themselves.
Yeah.
So I've got all these things, and I know my 100% is into GIA and getting that out. But all these things need to come up as well. And then I've got another one, which is about the youngsters that are coming up. They need to know, they need to understand how to handle stress.
Yes.
Because when they don't know how to handle stress, you're going at agitation, aggression, looking at drugs, you're looking at like a whole lot of issues. And if they don't get guided correctly, you're looking at coming leaders who would then not know how to interact and how to connect with people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of things that I'm looking at. And I would like to seek your guidance as to the prioritization.
Tej is never short of a challenge. And this is what I love about Tej and women like Tej. Aim high. Who said that you can't own all these categories, right? Who said that you can't have all these as your priority, right? But I will give you a simple answer, Tej.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because it's going to go back to the 3 Ps. And I tell you why.
Yeah.
At every community and every intersection. And for those who don't know what Tej is working on, which I think is just so mind-blowing, I love it. I told her from day one when we met, I fangirled her before she fangirled me. Okay, let's put it that way.
Thank you.
And I said, you've really got something. And, Tej walked away with so many amazing, well-deserved awards this year at Women Changing the World. So for those who don't know what Tej is doing, she's actually creating a platform for carers of dementia patients, and to have give more love and understanding from a medical point of view as well, to patients who would otherwise, not have a voice. So in that way, these are, this is a group of underrepresented voices. So that's what Tej does. To answer Tej's question about what we prioritize, Tej, in every community that you're in, what's the common thread? It's people. Yes?
Yeah.
And every person has their own network, their own problems to be solved.
Yeah.
Okay? That will fall in one of your categories. Okay? When you are working with a family with a dementia, person in their home, you will have young people, middle-aged people, old people. Okay? And each of these people will fall into one of your categories. Okay, the problem that you want to solve. So if you can clearly have the 3 Ps applied across each of your categories, then you can easily funnel these people where that you believe they need support.
Correct.
Right? You are in contact with so many people. I'm going to have to go, yes, no problems. Let's keep connecting, Lee. Find me on socials. You'll find me. But Tej, I think this is, for you, such a fruitful way of, funneling each and every person that you come in contact with. So what is a priority? A priority is just knowing where your touch points are, right? So if you're working with a family, have a think about that family's dynamic and condition, right? Yes, you've got the dementia. That's why you had a touch point there. They have a young person who doesn't really know how to do that. Boom, you can funnel them into your category of helping support, young people.
Got it.
Right? You've got, this is a migrant family, where language is an issue. The mother is the one, or the woman is the one who has to be the carer. She's now lost her identity. Boom, that's your other category. So in one space, there are so many opportunities for you to help and support. Right? So I guess reframing it not as a priority, because everybody's needs are priority.
That's right.
Right? It's actually categorizing where you can support them at the right touch point. And for each of these categories of priority, get your 3 Ps right. What's the problem you solve? How are people seeing you from the outside? Every time people ask you something about youth or something about GIA, what do you say to them? And is your pitch clear, crisp, and lands?
Thank you so much for helping me through with landing that clear, crystal pitch. Just so everybody knows, she helped me to prepare myself for my first ever presentation in Bali. That was the place where I spoke about GIA for the very first time.
Yep. And it was smashing. And you're just on that up and up at the moment. Thank you, Tej, for sharing as always.
Thank you so much. Thank
I'm
you.
going to hand it to Peace, because I know, time is, there's never, ever enough time.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Christine, for being here. It's been such a great session and so many questions. Thank you to everybody who came along as well. And you can connect with Christine on LinkedIn and Speakworthy at Instagram and Facebook as well. And yeah, don't forget to nominate for the AusMumpreneur Awards, nominate yourself and nominate the incredible women that you know. It's super easy. It takes less than 1 minute. Go to ausmumpreneur.com and get those nominations in. Well, thank you so much. And we will see you again. This was episode 3 in our series. We've got 2 more episodes coming up. So hope to see you there as well. Thanks,
Awesome.
everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.